Hi, all. Thanks so much for joining. Speaking of making healthcare work for you, different perspectives and empowering solutions. I'm Stephanie Fields, joined by my co-host, Dr. Apurv Gupta, and we are talking about our interview with Leon Evans, who is the former president of the Center for Healthcare Services. He's a past CNN mental health warrior, and he also received the American Psychiatric Association's Gold Award. He is our tagline of different perspectives, empowering solutions couldn't be better embodied by anyone than Leon Evans, because he both uses different perspectives by approaching mental health from and long time ago. He's not jumping on the fad of mental health and, trying to do this now. Everybody, it's the hot thing to do. But he's been a mental health warrior for a very long time, for decades and decades in the state of Texas. And so he started way back then with hope and dignity and trying to treat people, not as patients, not as, incarcerated people, not as homeless people, just as people. And so he's done so much work in virtually every arena of mental health, and it's beyond impressive. And so he told us about some of the programs that he's worked with, including a mommy's program, which is filled with women who are primarily prostitutes who are addicted to heroin, but who grew up in child protective services and were themselves victims when they were growing up. And then, unfortunately become the victim of a predator as an adult or a young adult, become pregnant. And then so many times they're essentially discarded by the system, to lose their babies. Their babies are born early because they're addicted to heroin and all of those terrible things. And so they instead find those people, identify them, and help them, treat them like any other mom, any other respected mom who's going to a place, receiving proper care, and taking them through the system, and then ultimately helping them get off of drugs, keep their babies, and find a new path in life. And so he's done things like that. They've worked on restoration centers where people can go and get sober and, get help for other drug addictions, where they can give people who have mental illnesses jobs through a litter abatement program that was incredibly successful. And everything that he has talked about was rooted in his mission, in his values, and treating with people with dignity and respect. In my opinion, this is a can't miss interview, because he's been a decades-long warrior to help these people through compassion and dignity. Apurv, what stood out to you?
Stephanie, I think you captured so many of the essential elements. Leon, when you speak to him, you can sense his very gentle presence, yet really powerful. For more than 5 decades, he's been in this field. So he's not a Johnny-come-lately. He's really done this. He's done it from the ground up, as he talks about, bottom up and top down. He knows how to connect with people, reach out to them, really make sure that he understands, he's listening to them and understands what their needs are. And because he's able to do that and find other people on his staff that can do the same thing through their lived experiences, they can connect much more deeply with the community that they're helping. So they're not thinking of them as victims or as people that are looking for help. They're just people that may have some dysfunctionality over the course of their lives, and they're looking for some additional support. So I think he's done just a tremendous job of that in field after field and area after area. You rattled them off. It's the incarcerated people, it's the heroin addicted people, the mothers you mentioned. So obviously he's applying some of the same principles of ultimately, how do you mix in that dignity, compassion, hope into the equation? You combine the best of medicine along with the compassion that's really required in order to deliver that medicine, so that the person who's getting that treatment feels like there's something there for them to be able to live for. That's that he encapsulated that really nicely in the message that he said. One of his I would say, I guess, clients probably came to him and said, "Listen, you're giving me everything that I want except for hope." And that really struck with him deeply and has guided his career throughout. So I think that's a really good message for us to end with, is that we can give everybody everything that they want, but we have to remember that we also have to give them hope. And that's what makes me so proud that we have this platform on which we're trying to spread these messages of hope. So wonderful interview. I hope all of you will tune in for it.
Absolutely. Do not miss this one. Stay tuned for the full interview with Leon Evans on Thursday, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.